Star Wars Galaxies was an MMORPG set in a Star Wars universe that went online in the early 2000s all the way until 2011, and it allowed players to live in a player-driven Star Wars environment the way they wanted. There was no proper goal, players set their own paths and did what they wanted to do out of the sandbox that was given to them. It could be combat-focused players and take on combat missions on the ground or in space. There could be merchants and buy or sell all the goods they wanted for profit. They could mine in space. They could also do other professions that were really awesome, like politicians, architects, entertainers, or artisans, which would then allow them to craft the items that would then be sold in the player-driven economy. And so, when the game was officially discontinued in 2011, it was quite a tragedy because Galaxies had become for a lot of players the game that would do it all, the all-in-one space game package that couldn't be found anywhere else, and that certainly was not replaced by its successor, the Star Wars universe, the Old Republic, which is much more story-driven and doesn't really focus on player input. But that has changed over the past decades as the Star Citizen project started to take shape. People have seen in Chris Roberts' sandbox the potential to have the same experience they missed revived in a modern-day fashion. So, are they right to expect a similar experience? How similar is it right now, and how is it going to be in the future? That's what we will talk about in this video. So the first thing that I'm going to say is that Star Wars Galaxies, just like Star Citizen, is an open sandbox. In Star Citizen, you can do what you want. There is no end goal. There is no winning. You define as a player what is winning, and that is something that really appeals to a lot of players. It also entices to replayability because there's always going to be something new to do, a new goal, a new objective, and this is something that both games have in common. Next, we are going to be talking about the player-driven economy. Now, in Star Citizen, unfortunately, it's not really going to be a player-driven economy. The goal is to have 90% of NPCs for 10% of players on average. This is, of course, a long-term goal. As of right now, we're very far from that. But the economy is not going to be driven by the players. It is going to be an NPC-driven economy, and players are going to have somewhat of an input depending on their activity. Prices are going to rise or lower. Security is going to be tighter or looser. There's going to be more or less piracy, but overall it will be defined by the NPCs and by the game masters themselves, who will be able to tweak manually what is going on in the universe. So that's already a big difference, but nevertheless players will have an input. Players will be able to craft items in the future. Players will be able to own facilities that will be producing goods, or they will be able to mine, and eventually the more they mine, the more resources will be available, which will then let prices fluctuate. This is actually going to be the very first aspect of the player-driven economy that is supposed to be coming this year with the first implementation of Quanta, which is going to be involving fuel, but we are just at the very beginning, and it's still very far from what is available in Star Wars Galaxies. Nevertheless, the promise is here, the potential is here, and the players are very eager to see how this is unfolding under our very eyes. Next, the ability to own houses and settlements. Obviously, right now, this is not something that is available, but it's something that players really enjoyed in Star Wars Galaxies. Having your own little house where you will be able to store your own belongings, some of the loot or some of the flair that it would be very rare that you would have acquired throughout your adventures. You'll be able to put there inside your house for people to see or just to show off your accomplishments. This is also something that we are going to have in Star Citizen in the future, as we will have our own habitation modules in landing zones that will not be destructible. So that's probably where you would put your loot, but we will also be able to have our own bases and settlements and outposts on some either secured places that will be policed by the security forces of the UEE, or on some of the more outlaws area, like the first one that we're gonna have hopefully this year is going to be Paro, where basically anything goes. So that's probably going to be a little bit more dangerous, because if someone wants to go there and destroy whatever you're gonna have, then they'll just be able to, which was not the case in Star Wars Galaxies. You could not destroy other people's houses, but in Star Citizen, it is something that will be possible, or at least that's what we've been told. So that's something you're gonna have to watch out, which is why organizations are going to play a very important role, especially the big ones. If you have a small org with just a few players, it's going to be very difficult to defend your positions. But if you have a very large organization with hundreds of players, it's always going to be some people guarding and defending the properties of the organization. So that's also going to be some really interesting gameplay. I would say the next level of player ownership there, but again, it's not for now. It's something that's still on paper in the future. Next, both games do have ground and space combat, which again was something that really appealed to a lot of players, the ability to do their activities on planet side and then in space. It's something that we can do in Star Citizen, but at a much grander scale, because there is no transition from ground to space. It is seamless. You can leave and out the planetary atmospheres, and this is something that had never been done before in any game before Star Citizen was able to achieve that. And that is probably one of the most amazing aspect of planetary technology for Star Citizen. Is absolutely mind-blowing, and again leaves a lot of players excited for the future. As the game gets developed, we're gonna have more options. We already moved from small moon to actual planets, and then from actual planets to gas giants, and who knows what we are going to have in the future. The sky is basically the limit, so to speak. Next, Star Wars Galaxies has other professions than combat, and that is also one of the things that appealed to players who are not necessarily combat oriented. They want to enjoy the universe in the more laid-back fashion. In Galaxies, as I mentioned in the video that I made on my second channel about how Star Wars Galaxies is still alive nowadays, in Galaxies you could be an entertainer, you could be an artisan, a crafter. You didn't need to be a commando, soldier, or bounty hunter if you were not really interested in that. And this is also something that Star Citizen aims at doing. There's got to be an activity for everyone to enjoy, not just combat players, but people who enjoy a more laid-back experience. So right now you can be a miner. That's something that's available in the game. You can also do things to emergent gameplay, which is player-created gameplay. Do lots of other things. Some people right now being news journalists, or some people are being event organizers, or some people are right now being professional racers. These are things that are possible right now, again, because of the power of the sandbox. And as more opportunities, more gameplay are going to be made available to players in the future, more of these activities will also be available, and we're going to see other things. Very soon we're going to see scrapper, scavenger. These kind of gameplay that do not necessarily require combat will be there as well. We're going to have a space refueler, like the ability to have your own little gas station, but in space, as the Starfarer from Misk is finally going to have its intended gameplay in Star Citizen 3.17, so the next coming patch. That is also very exciting too. So other professions and combat will be available in the game, and this is also something that appeals to a lot of players who played Star Wars Galaxies. So I think that these are the reasons why a lot of players who played Star Wars Galaxies see in Star Citizen the next similar type of experience that they've been waiting for such a long time. And I think that there definitely is a lot of that, but unfortunately, as always with Star Citizen, it takes a lot of time to get into our hands, as you know, we are always limited by tech, and the development is slow, but it's eventually slowly but surely getting there. But let me know in the comment section down below, guys, have you played Star Wars Galaxies? Have you heard of it? Is this the kind of gameplay that you're expecting for Star Citizen? Let me know to get a chance to win. Well, this month giveaway, we're not giving away a ship, we are giving away Predator mounts, thanks to Triple. He is giving away a set of 2 mounts for joystick joysticks worth up $180. This is absolutely awesome, and it's gonna make your gameplay experience much more comfortable if you're playing with joysticks or if you're planning to play with joysticks. So all you have to do is to answer the question that's just asked and subscribe to the channel in public settings. Also, if you want to support me, if you enjoy my work, you want to support me and go the extra mile, you'll have access to my Discord channel where, thanks to Dr. Forbin, we are giving away a Crusader Genesis Starliner, an amazing ship worth over $400, and that is a fantastic price. Thank you so much, Dr. Forbin. Thank you so much for watching, guys. That's all for this video. Thank you so much to Dr. Forbin, Eric Old, and the teacher done. It's the Eradicator. I'll see you guys later. A huge shout out to everyone who's been helping me out on Patreon and via the YouTube Joint Membership program. Creating content on YouTube involves continuous circles of ups and downs, and it is when we are the lower parts of the curve that your help really motivates me to keep on going. Your contribution really does make a difference, which is why in return I try to give back by offering backers access to my private Discord channel, automatic access to exclusive giveaways, or answering your questions during the show. You can help me out with as little as $1 a month, and any help is greatly appreciated. Thank you very much for watching again. This is the Eradicator. I'll see you guys later.